Shakur is Mubala. So extremely grateful or truly grateful. How few turn out that way. In other words, gratitude to Allah is more than lip service. Gratitude to Allah is more than a reaction. Allah is inspiring both of these prophets to produce something, to take the resources that they have, melt them, make them into precise cuts, turn them into something else, build and build and build. And that building, that act of building and developing, that act that is going to go far beyond their lifetime. Because once a factory is built, the factory owner can die, the factory will keep going. Once the car manufacturer has designed the engine, once the engine has been designed, there will be enhancements to it, but the engine's already there, the car industry will go on. The inventor will not remain, but the invention will remain. That's the history of the world. There's a reason we have the wheel. The guy who figured it out is not here. We're all using it. Allah is telling both of these prophets, whatever resources are at your disposal, when you make full use of them, when you make full use of them, and they know everything they're building, everything they're amassing, they're doing it for a greater service. They're not doing it for themselves. Then this is actually shukr. That's actually, you're doing shukr. So we have this passive concept of shukr, which is, hey, let's just say one of you in this community owns a small restaurant. Let's just say, I'll give you a restaurant. I'm in the restaurant mood, so I'll give you a restaurant example. This is a small restaurant you own, right? So you're like, it brings enough money, it pays the bill, alhamdulillah. Somebody comes to you and says, hey, I think you can improve the quality of this place. I think you can expand it. I think you can brand it better. I think you can branch out. I think you can open up multiple chains. You can become a friend. This can become 50 restaurants in 5 years. That can happen. You have the quality. No, I just want to be grateful for what I have. Alhamdulillah, Allah has given enough. No, don't bother me with these things. I don't want dunya. But imagine for a moment if there are 50 restaurants, and then one day there are 500 restaurants, and there are 5,000 restaurants. Just imagine. Just use your imagination. Think big. One day when it's 5,000 or 50,000 restaurants, isn't that competing with McDonald's? Isn't that funding going to help influence foreign policy? Isn't that going to influence how a campaign is going to run? A political campaign is going to run? Isn't that going to replace the need for standing outside of an embassy and yelling and screaming and then laughing sitting inside? Is that not going to replace it? Is that when you're building something, if you're building it for yourself, if you want to build yourself a nicer house with a bigger restaurant, you're going to get a nicer car. It's still a car. It's still got an engine. It's still got a seat. It's still got a steering wheel. It's just a nicer steering wheel. It's just a little cushier seat, but you're still sitting on it. You can't cut it open and feel the material inside. It's still the same. But if you have a vision to build something big and expand it, now imagine just for that, take that one example for a moment of the restaurants. If a Muslim owned 5,000 restaurants, how much more sadaqah are they able to give? How much more zakat are they giving? How many more people have halal jobs because of them? How many more people are now being influenced by an ethical business that is not involved in bribery? It's not involved in buying off politicians. It's not involved in usurping the infrastructure of a community. I was watching a recent exposing documentary on dollar generals in this country. Wherever they go, they destroy local businesses. There are actually food shortages in the United States where there's a Dollar General because the local mom and pop shop that's trying to sell some vegetables can't survive anymore. So now people have to drive 15, 20 miles to buy basic fruits and vegetables because a Dollar General exists. And now people are being malnourished in this country because of big business.
Stand out in the job market with the new Google AI Professional Certificate. Master effective prompting and responsible AI use. Partner with AI to transform your research, communication, more. Start automating your workflows to save time and streamline your tasks. Go hands-on with Google's most capable AI tools. Build smarter workflows. Create AI-powered solutions. And become AI fluent in just 10 hours. Enroll today on Coursera.
Now imagine if Muslims understood that we are, just the Muslims in the United States, even for starters, we're in a country that is built on entrepreneurship. The entire thing. is built on entrepreneurship. There's old money and there's new money. We all know that. And if we understood that this resource and this opportunity that Allah has given us, we have to put it to work to show shukr to Allah, we would be part of an economic engine. We would be part of we would be a machinery by ourselves that is difficult to mess with. It's difficult to mess with. This is something Allah taught us in the Quran. You can't just be grateful. You have to do grateful. I'malu shukran. You have to do grateful. And we have to develop that empowering mentality. If young people sitting here that are going to university, the East Coast of the United States, where you guys live, the East Coast is the hub of universities in this country. There are more universities here than probably anywhere else in the world. The concentration of education here. Well, most people that are trying to get an education, just trying to get a job. You're trying to make somebody else rich. Which is great. Start off that way. I'm happy for you. Get a job. Gain the experience. Learn from people that know more than you. But if your entire aspirations end with you, when by the time I'm this old, I want to have this. By the time I'm that old, I want to have this, and I want to have these investments. You're not thinking bigger. Learn to think bigger. Learn to think with shukr. And what does Allah do if you show gratitude? If you and I become people of shukr, not just by words, but by action. What does Allah do? What is Allah's promise? لَإِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ. If you can show gratitude, I promise you, I swear by it, I will enhance you and continue to enhance you. Continue to increase you. You and the stuff you own. You and your knowledge. You and your sincerity. You and your ibadah. You and your resources. All of it will continue to increase. It will continue to expand. But understand, after all of that, as I conclude this, after all of that, you might say, oh, this was a football. This might as well be a Joel Osteen talk, because they're all about prosperity gospel. They just want people to become rich. Jesus wants you to get that new Mercedes. He wants you to open up that new restaurant, because he wants good Christians to prosper. Right? And it was like, this is the Muslim version of he wants good Christians to prosper. I want Muslims to no, I don't care about your prosperity, I'll be honest with you. This is not about your prosperity. This is about the ni'mah and the amana that Allah gave a human being, the ability that Allah gave a human being, the money that Allah gave a human being, the resources, the opportunity that Allah gave a human being, to put that to 100% maximum use to produce the most amount of benefit. And while doing all of that, not for a moment do you think, you know what I did? 5,000 restaurants. No, shut up. No, you did nothing. I did nothing. You and I can't accomplish what Dhul Qarnayn accomplished. He's to me, he should be studied very carefully, especially by you. When he goes and travels the world and establishes empire in different societies, at the end of it all, what's his final statement? And some people say, well, he might have been Alexander the Great. Let me help you with that confusion. He was not Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great thought Alexander was great. And Dhul Qarnayn, at the end of his entire career, what is it? Everything I've been able to accomplish is a rahmah from my Rabb. Study Alexander, you'll find he's really obsessed not with God, but with himself. That's not Alexander. But whoever he is, one thing we know, he accomplishes the most amazing things. And at the end of all of that, what does he say? This is a rahmah from my Rabb. This is an act of loving mercy. After he engineers the wall that prevents Ya'juj and Ma'juj from coming, he said, "Have rahmatan min Rabbi." And as amazing as that accomplishment is, to build such a dam with literally no time, because the raiding army is coming, literally with people that have no background in construction, and he's getting them to teaching them and building at the same time. So imagine the laboratory project is the final product. That's what he's doing. And after that incredible accomplishment, he says, فَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ رَبِّي جَعَلَهُ دَكَّاءَ وَكَانَ وَعْدُ رَبِّي حَقًّا. And I know, as much as this is impressive, this is a rahmah from Allah. When its time comes, Allah will crush this sin of him also. Some of you might be realistic, and you might have this, fatalistic view of life. Like, why do you want me to build 5,000 restaurants and expand and own a university and start hospitals? Why do you want me to do that? It's all going to become nothing in the end. Allah will destroy everything. All the buildings will be crushed, everything will be mud on Judgment Day. Yeah, that's Judgment Day. That's not now. Now Allah said do this. Why is Allah making Dawud alayhi salam build a factory and putting the jinns to work? Why isn't he telling him, why are you even bothering Judgment Day is coming? Just sit down and just do shukr in a corner. Why is he telling him to do it? Why is Dhul-Qarnayn building a wall? He could just say, let him come, Judgment Day is coming anyway, you'll be shaheed, it's okay. Why? Our mentality, sometimes our passive mentality, don't do, don't build, don't expand hayat, and because it's the more spiritual thing to do, our spirituality goes against the spirituality of the Quran itself. We need to cleanse from our corrupted thinking, which we think is spiritual in nature. It's not. It's not. These are influences that are not from the Book of Allah. These are other influences. Our book, everything is in balance. Work really hard to build, knowing it's temporary. And when it comes and when it goes, that's in the hands of Allah, like my own life. Just because I'm planning for the next 50 years doesn't mean I know I will live the next 50 years. I can plan for the next 50 years and be aware I could be done in an hour or less. I can do both at the same time. That's what Allah expects. This is the mentality that Allah expects. And this is a mindset that can take any nation, any people from a position of weakness to a position of great strength. From a position of great strength. The last thing I'll share with you today, because this is about, really it is about empowerment through gratitude. That's what the message of this khutbah is. I want to share one thing with you. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam compared the ummah kajasad. The entire ummah was compared to one body. Now tell me, if a person is sick, one body is sick, right? And they have a stomach problem, or they have a lot of allergies, or whatever they have, or they're very weak. And you say, how do I improve this person? How do I improve them? And you say, you should eat healthy. What's the point? You should exercise. No, what's the point? Life is temporary. The body is sick. But before the body is sick, you know what's sick? The person's mind. They're not willing to take any steps to fix what's actually wrong. And once the mind is set, once the mind is in the right place, the person is still sick. They're still sick. But when their mentality and their emotions and their intentions and their motivation changes inside, then they still, if they die today, they die healthy. Because their mind and their heart is in the right place. Once their mind and heart is in the right place, it's not like tomorrow they'll be healthy. But tomorrow they'll be 0.1% healthier. And the day after they'll be 0.2% healthier. And if they stay at it, they're going to see a 10% improvement in 10 years. And a 20% improvement in 20. They'll see an improvement. They'll see things changing, won't they? Now think about the fact that the Prophet ﷺ compared the entire ummah to a single body. We want change now. At anything you change in the body immediately, the body reacts to it. But any change you bring into your body, physically, emotionally, psychologically, socially, any change you bring that was planned and built and developed stays. It stays. And any change you try to bring simultaneously collapses. It's unnatural. With that mentality, when the ummah, especially the youth are frustrated, why are Muslims in a position of weakness? We are 20% or more of the population of the world. Why are we so silent? Why are we not heard? Why is it that we cried about Palestine for 70 years, nobody was listening, and one girl on TikTok from Wyoming, because she happens to be an American and happens to be white, is crying about the atrocity, and all of a sudden it's a world issue. They're talking about it, now it matters. You're talking about it for a long time, who's listening? Why are our voices so mute, so unworthy to be heard in the world? And you can be frustrated about that and cry about that and bang podiums about that, but until we decide that we acknowledge we're in a position of sickness and weakness, and it takes time and mindset to build yourself to a position of strength. If you're not strong enough to fight a bully, and you're too skinny and they're 2 feet taller than you and they're much bigger than you, then you better go train. It's gonna take a while. But you better be ready for that. You better build yourself up. And that's the mentality socially, economically, spiritually, educationally, that the Muslim mind has to develop. That you are the seeds of, especially the young people sitting here. You're the seeds of that. And the elders that are sitting here, you, especially like myself, those of us that are above 40, we are now turning to Allah saying, Ya Allah, empower me to be grateful. You know what that means? Just like Dawood alayhi salam and Sulaiman alayhi salam were putting money or putting resources into building weapons, these youth, investing in them, building them, nurturing them, even employing them, teaching them investment, teaching them independence, giving them vision, that becomes your responsibility. That's your gratitude. That's what you have to share. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us a community where the elders benefit the youth and the youth benefit the elders. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us a community that is truly inspired by the principles of shukr that Allah has taught us so beautifully in His book. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa dhikri al-hakim.
You've got a great idea. GoDaddy has the perfect domain name to go with it. It only takes a few minutes to register one with over 500 extensions to choose from. Take your idea online today.
Start advertising and get up to 1,800,000 Pakistani rupees ad credits. Launch your TikTok ads campaign today.